Welcome to VECTORSHIFT. First, I'll explain what this tool is. It's an AI tool that allows us to automate our work tools and workspaces without coding. Got it? There are already quite a few no-code AI automation programs out there like Make and Zapier, especially Zapier, which is a bit more user-friendly. But here, VECTORSHIFT gives us this intro, this welcome, and clearly, while it's no code, it's ready for coding too, which can be a problem with other automation tools where everything's so pre-packaged that when we want to truly customize something at the code level, we simply can't. These are its integrations and automation. As you can see, it has the essentials and all the necessary languages or language models like ChatGPT, Anthropic Llama, Amazon's Mistral. I don't see DeepSeek, but I assume it can connect too. It has the option, note this, to make chatbots, something other automation tools lack. Very important, along with workflow automations and more. So that's the VECTORSHIFT tool in a nutshell. To start with vector trips, we'll create an account by clicking Get Started. I recommend disabling your browser shields, okay? Use Brave or any browser, then continue with Google, GitHub, or just email. Alright, as you can see, we'll begin from here, okay? They won't ask for much, but they will mention that we can upgrade to a paid plan for more tools and features, but for now, this is what we have access. Alright, before we create our first project in VECTORSHIFT, we'll want to set up a knowledge base. You don't need to do this now for testing, but why is a knowledge base useful? Well, if we're programming a bot to give answers based on specific information, not the entire internet like ChatGPT with its billions of tokens, and we want to create a company chatbot with specific info, we'll need the AI agent we're using to have our company's info. So we'll go to the knowledge section, we'll click create new knowledge base. As you can see, we can set a name and access various advanced settings here. We can even configure the model used to process this information. We simply input the model name here, okay, test create, and from here we can upload files. How do I recommend uploading files? We can scrape URLs to get information, but what's the issue? We'll always have excess processes this way. It's better to use plain text format. That is, upload a TTXT file with the exact information we want it to know. This is the most efficient way to create a knowledge base for our agents and other users. On the other hand, as we can connect and integrate any tool within VECTORSHIFT, obviously within the pipeline, which would be a workflow or workspace, it will ask us for the API credential. But if we want to do it directly from our profile, we need to go here, bottom left to personal, and then to profile. Within profile, we go to the connection section. We select connections, and here we are. As you can see, we have all the integrations that VECTORSHIFT includes. These are popular integrations like Airtable, Discord, email, calendar, Google Docs, Sheets, Google Drive, Outlook, OneDrive, Notion, Slack, GitHub, some CRMs, Dropbox, Teams. It doesn't have integrations like DeepSec or OpenRouter, which surprises me as they limit it to this extent, meaning integrations isn't a standout feature for the number it offers. That's worth noting. Other tools have up to 400 integrations, while here there are about 60, 70, leaving many out. But it's from here that we can connect all these tools. How can we access the VECTORSHIFT API, and how can we access its features? Okay, let's look at how we've been using it. Alright, let's go to the top left section. We'll click on the profile section here. Within profile, we'll go to API keys. Okay, as you can see, we can generate a key here. Just click on generate, enter a name, click generate, and it creates the app. Got it? It's crucial that only you see this app key, okay? No one else should have access to it. To check API usage, go to the usage section. Here you can see all your usage details. This includes API and other features. Okay, it covers the entire tool's usage, the max number of integrations allowed, storage, workspaces, and more. AI model usage statistics, chatbots, forms, and other creations. Okay. If we want to increase our billing, okay? To add funds and continue using the tool, we go to billing, or better yet, go to the subscription section. First subscribe, then add more in billing if needed. This way we can add more credit. Let's create our first project within VECTORSHIFT, our initial workspace. To do this, we'll click on Create New Pipeline in the Pipeline section. As you can see, we're given access to various templates we can choose from: Assistant, Basic, Productivity, Chatbots, and more. I'll select the chatbot template, but if you prefer, there's a Start Blank option in the top right. Starting blank lets you begin without a template if that's what you prefer. It's entirely up to you how you want to proceed. Alright, to understand how VectorShift works, I'll explain how to create a chatbot using it. First, we'll create a project and they'll provide us with a template. Don't worry, I'll show you how to modify this template however you like. We start with the general section, which includes an input field. In this case, we're sending text input as that's what we've selected, but the input could be anything else like audio, images, file lists, etc. Now, why do we have an explanation of outputs here? Why does it say output? Well, this is the output we'll receive from the input we just mentioned. It shows here that the output is text and of text type. This is the output from this specific box we have here. Then, if we had the chatbot and sent a message, this output, this intro text would be, we click run here, and when we input something like hello and hit run, that's what we'll send as input. This input text you see here will be sent to the database. The database is here called knowledge base. I've explained this. It's the database we've customized. What's this for? Well, if we have company info we want only this AI agent to know, we'd put it here. I've done a test. This database is empty, don't worry. But if you want a database for your company to answer questions correctly about it, you'd have it right there. It's that simple. Grab the database, drag it, select test type, and choose the input as shown here. Just drag the input from here to there and you've got the input automatically set up. Basically, the output would be the result of running this info through the database to find any match. Then, as you can see, we create a chat memory, which essentially tries to store information or reintegrate what we've been discussing in the chat for future responses. It states here that it allows AI to have conversations, references, or a conversation history. As you can see, the memory type is token buffer, which is the default when you drag it. So now we're connecting the message, chat message, knowledge info, and memory context, passing it all through an LLM. In this case, they've chosen ChatGPT as the LLM, but it could be any other. The LLM is essentially the AI that will provide us with the answer. And well, it's pretty straightforward to understand. Basically, it's instructions on how we'd utilize the LLM. And here, as you can see, we need to give it some instructions, basically how it should function. Here it says to answer questions based on context in a friendly yet professional manner. Use conversation history when relevant. Then there's the prompt, which is the message we're sending. This would be the role it assumes. And then we have the prompt. The prompt is essentially the question, the input. That is what we've sent from the user. The context is set after passing through the knowledge base. In other words, the knowledge base forms the context. Then we have the conversation history pulled from chat memory. As you can see, hovering over it provides the information. Next, we simply select the model. In this case, they've chosen the latest ChatGPT version. Here we're looking at the output. The output includes text, response, token count, input, etc. And finally, we have this output, where output data of different types from your workflow. As you can see, we mark the output here. In the general section, just drag an output and you're done. It's text type, simply showing the response from the AI. If I click run and type, hello, how are you? It'll respond based on the AI's answer. It says, hello, I'm well. Thanks for asking. How are you? I hope you enjoyed this chatbot tutorial. This chatbot can be integrated with any other tool, like WhatsApp or whatever you prefer. This way we'd have a chatbot for WhatsApp or any platform. Right, let's talk about VectorShift's pricing plans and subscriptions, shall we? Just to give you an idea of the cost. As you can see, the free plan already includes a ton of features, like a chatbot and a work project, plus $1 in free AI credits, which is pretty nice. Then there's the standard plan at $25 a month, which basically, well, it includes everything in the free plan, plus more. You get 5 pipelines or 5 jobs, 10,000 actions, not including AI usage, 3 GB of storage, 5 databases, got it, that's important. 5 databases can be handy for 5 projects or different datasets you don't want to process together. 2,000 stored names or vectors, 5 integrations, or the free plan only has 1 integration, 5 integrations. I'm not a fan of limiting integrations. 5 chatbots. Wow, honestly, $25 a month for 5 chatbots is a steal. 5 bulk jobs. VoiceBot. Let's face it, it's cheap. I have to admit it. The integration limit isn't great, but who uses more than 5? Some might, I guess. Not saying it's impossible. Now about the Pro. The Pro is overkill, as the name suggests. If you need 100 projects, pay the $125. Pro buyers know the tool well enough to justify $125 monthly. I wouldn't start with Pro. Start free, then try standard. Why not? If convinced, go Pro with the annual plan. With a 20% discount, yes, it'll cost $1,200 up front, but you'll get a 20% discount. It's important to mention that there are free tools available. This one is paid. There are free automation tools like N8N or cheaper options. Well, not super cheap, but N8N is free and runs locally. It's more technical, but we have tutorials on the channel. Make has more integrations, which is worth noting. This tool combines automation and chatbot features. It has both, but limited capabilities in each. For a dedicated chatbot, I'd recommend BotPress. For automation, try Make with its many integrations, or I'd suggest N8N as another option. It's true that N8N, which I consider the best, is very complex to use. It's much more complicated than Make, which isn't free. You have to pay $20 a month, depending on the plan, but that's my final verdict. If you need everything at once, chatbots, automations, etc., this tool could work well. Also, there's not much difference between a chatbot and automation. In other words, you can automate a chatbot. What's the deal? If you have a tool specifically for chatbots, it's obviously much easier to create them. However, the chatbots here are very basic. You don't have as much control as with BotPress or a dedicated chatbot tool, so that's my verdict. Test it. Test other tools. But this is a very good tool. Don't misunderstand me though. The testing works great. It's very fast. Not a bad tool at all. Far from it.